This is the true story of one family who sold their house, packed up their life, and decided to live nowhere on purpose.
What absolute abnormal people would even conceive of something this ridiculous?
2 kids, 2 parents, 6 months, no fixed address.
There are some people who are like, oh, that's so nice for you. And probably secretly in their head going, what the fuck? Find out what happens when you stop watching the travel influencers who make it all look perfect and start living their nomadic life with kids. For real.
Did we name this podcast?
We called it Trips and Giggles.
Oh, that's right, because I was going to say welcome back to Trips and Giggles.
Okay, so we were going to talk about Portugal today again because we had a lot more to talk about in terms of Portugal. However, we just got back to our Airbnb after spending a night elsewhere.
In another Airbnb.
Due to a maggot infestation. So I thought maybe it would be interesting while this is all fresh in our mind to talk about our first week in Mexico. What do you think?
We had such good plans to go through all these nuances of Portugal and make this, and then we're like, you know what? This is our journal basically, so yeah. Let's talk about Mexico. let's do that. So very first episode we said, we're in San Miguel de Allende, right?
Yes.
And we are here because
I have a family member, cousin, who has lived here for 17 years.
I mean, technically, it's your mom's cousin.
My mom's
he's
cousin,
61,
yeah.
So it's not really your
him
cousin.
And his husband live here.
Right.
And then, so I knew about San Miguel.
Yeah, and so we have a resource, right? We have somebody who speaks Spanish. They can help connect, and
right.
They were incredibly kind to leave groceries in our house, which was really nice when we get in from a long day of travel. So I'm very grateful.
Right. Yeah, that was awesome. And then, one of the other families that we met and really clicked with in Portugal was planning on spending some time here this summer. And so when we were trying to figure out our whole trip after selling our house, and they said, hey, we're going to San Miguel. I was like, hey, I have family members there. Do you mind if we just tag onto your trip?
I mean, that's true, right? Most of the leg of this trip as we go through this 6 months of whatever the hell we're doing, almost every section, with the exception of the Christmas markets, we will know somebody there.
Yeah.
So we have some kind of a connection or a resource or a person that led us there.
To that location.
So,
right.
Yeah. So let's go to Mexico. Can I start? Okay. So I want to preface this for people. Just so we're clear, it's going to come out, at least from my perspective, like this place is terrible. Okay. Or at least, yeah, maybe you'll catch it from me because you'll get some serious passion. This has been the worst trip ever. Obviously the setup from the Maggots. And that's not true, but some shit has happened throughout this trip, a lot of which in our Airbnb, which I'm not going to completely fault the owner, has led us to have some stronger opinions.
Yes. And a series of unfortunate events that are probably just more coincidence.
Well, not all, because I will tell you, the very beginning of this trip, I had a bit of a freak out and an emotional loss when we landed in Mexico City. So,
oh yeah,
right. So we we're already stressed. We had sold the house. I mean, just a lot of shit had happened really, really fast. There were so many things going on. We're trying to move our addresses and change things and make sure bills are paid and cars are sold.
There was a lot of stress. Yeah,
we went through.
We're coming off a lot of stress.
So
of high stress.
So clearly, me personally, I will speak for myself, had not exercised, was not doing the right things for my mental health, and so I was on edge. So, how long was the flight? 4.5 hours? Would you say 4.5 hours from Maryland?
Yeah. Well, before we go into a play-by-play,
all right.
I think we should each give our overall impressions of Mexico.
I want to talk about this airport situation.
Okay.
We'll get into that. We haven't even gotten in the damn country yet. Let me tell the damn story.
Okay, tell the airport
impressions
story.
of Mexico
Jesus.
for everyone else. No, Let me tell people what the fuck happened.
Okay,
so
airport.
This has
Yes.
happened to us once in Europe, and I know this is a thing in places, but it came down to, and this is I'm going to tell my story here. When I have an expectation for something, and many times in the past it's been very unrealistic, I have a tendency to be very frustrated when that expectation doesn't come to fruition. Okay, so we took a long flight, which was not the easiest thing in the world to take a flight, and we get to Mexico City, and we have a connection. Okay, but they're ushering us into Mexico City, and we're going through. There's a sign initially you see, and there's a sign that says connections, and there's another sign that says customs. And we asked people, and they're like, no, go towards the customs. And I was like, no, we need to go to connections, because we go to customs, they're going to send us out of the airport. And I kept like feeling anxious about it. So of course we go through the customs line, answer the questions, stamp the passports. And so then we head down to a second area, right? And there's this long line, and we end up in a booth.
Oh, and yeah, we have to go to a second booth for our specific airplane.
Well, we didn't even have our tickets. They didn't
they didn't
we
give
didn't
us.
even have our connecting
Yeah, they didn't even
tickets.
give us connecting
So we
tickets,
couldn't even
which
get
was
them
bizarre.
until you get into Mexico City to get the connection to go to BJX,
Yeah.
which apologize that I can't pronounce what that airport is that we had to go to. Anyway, so we go to that booth, they give us our tickets, and then they're like, no, go over that way. So I'm walking towards the people, and there's a stairwell or escalator upstairs that says connections, and they're ushering everybody out these glass doors, which is clearly the doors that say no entrada. You are going out and going back out of the airport.
Yeah.
And I was
Exit.
flipping out the exit. And so I literally let Meghan and the kids go. Like I stood there and I was like trying to ask this dude, and he kept pushing me out, and I was so pissed. So long story short, they literally sent us back out, and we had to go back in through security all over again, which
was a nightmare because
led
apparently
to-
none of our, like, we had one small bag that we had brought with us, and apparently like everything in that bag had to be like taken out and
I
inspected.
mean,
It
everything
was-
electronic we had, which, I mean, we have too many electronics. Phones, multiple computers, multiple iPads.
iPads.
I mean, every single thing was being inspected piece by piece.
Yeah, we were holding up this massively long line.
My electric hair cutter. We held this
baby
line
was
up.
screaming.
The baby's losing her fucking
She's trying to
mind.
run back to where like all the security
She's trying to
guards are.
escape. It was just screaming. And then of course our Spanish, embarrassingly, my Spanish is terrible, and so I can't communicate with them. Anyway, it just set a very terrible stage for Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the same reaction. I was just kind of like, okay, we're in a different country and this is what we're doing. So
There's just no reason for that. You got off of a plane from another location where you went through significant levels of security.
I get that, but I think like some places have higher levels of security, and they might not think that the security that you went through in whatever country you're coming from, because it's not just the United States, it's lots of other places. They might think, okay, the security that they did in those places is not up to the standard of our security. And so then, I assume that that's why they do it, is that they want to put people back through security to make sure that everybody who's, progressing on into Mexico is.
I just think, like, if you get on a flight to a place and they're going to do that to you, like not give you connecting tickets and send you back through security, you should get like a big red cross or something slapped on your ticket. Like, just so you know what you're in for or about to face.
To be fair, we did not research this. We kind of we didn't
That's
look
fair.
into.
That's fair. I mean, when I say we, I mean this. You're on travel extraordinaire, so it's completely on your shoulders to tell me what's going on here. Like I have other things that I cover on our relationship. This
True.
is totally your department.
Well, listen, I just, it wasn't
you watch
something
enough-
I thought about.
The TikToks, right? Like one of your TikToks should have let
Well,
us know.
I didn't think about watching a TikTok about the Mexico City airport.
Ins and outs of Mexico City.
Next time I will.
Please do. Okay, we can go back to what you said. You want us to give our overall impressions of Mexico.
Yes.
Transition. Go for it.
I mean, we're only, we've flown into Mexico City. We went to BJX Airport. We didn't actually spend any time in the city next to that. And we're in San Miguel. So I think we should say like our impressions of where we've been, because it's not
right.
all of Mexico.
That's completely unfair. You're right. If we flew into Bismarck and we only stayed in one city in the U.S., it's not fair of us to blame it, to talk about a whole country. So, but you said impressions of Mexico, which is why I said it. Okay.
Yeah,
Impressions of San Miguel.
Yeah. Go
ahead.
Well, I think the small airport that we flew into, BGX, was beautiful. Like, it was very easy to navigate. We hired a car service, which was fantastic. They were super easy to work with to get us from that airport to San Miguel with a car seat, which, if you remember, when we went to Italy, we sat for hours waiting for them to bring a broken car seat.
2018, we sat in Italy.
God.
When I ordered the car for Italy specifically, I asked for a car seat because we had actually read that there's not many car seats in Italy.
Yes.
And like they said, they're being a car seat, and this guy shows up with no car seat, gets on a cell phone with a cigarette and starts yelling in Italian back at the owner because they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, and hours later, they brought a broken car seat. Then
2 hours later, they brought a broken car seat. They had to hold together with one hand. Yeah, that was a nightmare. So
all I'm saying is that was a pleasant.
This car service was wonderful. I think the issue that happened to me is like you're severely scared that you won't have cash on you for a tip, and so you went to one of those damn exchange counters that just ripped the shit out of you, and I said there has to be an ATM somewhere. And you couldn't wait literally 40 feet to find the ATM by the nice guy who was waiting for us, and then got a broom handle up your ass.
That's true.
Because you're anxious about it. But listen, that's
okay.
Part of the fun.
So I'll say overall, there have been some fantastic restaurants. I've been really enjoyed seeing our friends and my family. I think that there are some very beautiful places here.
Those courtyards are gorgeous.
The courtyards are gorgeous.
I'll say that in mine, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's a couple of cool playgrounds. I think that there's some areas that it's not quite Portugal, but like where they've thought of kids, which is nice. I am not like a subtropical person. Like I don't like bugs.
You don't like maggots?
I don't like maggots. I don't like.
Shits? They're so cute and crawly. They're like little caterpillars, but they eat your flesh.
Oh my God. I had one night where I happened to read an article about how during rainy season that brings out the scorpions, and I couldn't sleep. I had visions of scorpions crawling up the walls, and I've not seen the scorpion, but I just, all of this just, it gives me agita. So I will say that has not been something that I've enjoyed, but I wouldn't say that's a Mexico thing. I think that's like, if I was in Arizona, I would feel the same way.
Can we go on a slight tangent here?
Yeah.
Just a slight tangent. So when I met you a long time ago, there's always been kind of a little bit of a bug thing, okay? Like just generally, and listen again. Like I want to say this and be fair.
Yeah.
I have my things.
Yes.
I get super anxious about shit.
Yeah.
That is not bugs.
Yeah.
So I get it, and like it's irrational, and it usually is fine, right?
Yeah.
But like for the longest time we were together, actually the very beginning was when you used to check mattresses for bed bugs. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I used to have a phobia of bed bugs.
Oh, significant. And then you got bed bugs, which was a whole nother...
I got the phobia after I got
that was post-bed bugs?
Because I had not been...
I was just mixing that life together.
I didn't check the bed because I was traveling for my internship, right? I was like doing all these interviews to see where I was going to go after my post...
You're a notorious bed hopper.
Yeah, when I was like during grad school, and...
So it was after that. I feel like you always had a thing with bugs though, because you freaked out about spiders.
Because when I was a kid, I lived in Oklahoma for a few years, and I walked into my bedroom one night, and I'm like, I don't know, 4th or 5th grade, and there was a tarantula on my pillow.
See, that okay? That's okay though. Like, not okay, but like, I think that would freak most people out, right?
Yeah.
But like, there's a difference between that and like a, I don't know, a dime-sized spider. in your
Listen,
house.
those spiders in Seattle were not dime size.
No,
They
I'm
were
not-
the size of tarantulas, but skinnier.
Those were not tarantula. They're wolf spiders.
They like
Anybody-
you could see their eyeballs
they're-
looking at you.
They're pretty. Those are pretty nasty, and they're fast as shit too. I mean, they are
they jump.
fast as hell. I'm just saying, like, our children were both very inquisitive, and then you screamed at anything the size of a fingernail, and now the two of them scream.
Listen,
A bee went within 20 feet of our oldest child today, and she literally almost destroyed windows with the piercing banshee yell that came out of
but
her
she
mouth.
does pick up bugs. Like the other there, we did find a beetle the first day that we came into the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And she picked up the beetle and carried it outside.
Right.
So she
if it's
is
not
not
a
afraid
bee
of
or
all.
a spider, it's
Yeah.
a different story. Anyway, you had a bed bug phobia. I'm just saying that you've had a history with bugs.
I don't like bugs.
So then it brings you to the fear of scorpions. Subtropical weather is where we were. So you were saying
Yeah,
you don't
so like
subtropics.
areas, and we're in a desert, so I don't know. I really thought about that, but there are a lot of flies. There are
A lot of flies is a bit of an understatement. I would
There's
say.
a lot of bees.
Yes, my goodness, the bees here, but they're revered.
They are, and they're treated with respect, which I think is important because I know that bees are, like kind of becoming endangered. So
Seriously.
that's fine. I personally don't want to sit and eat dinner with a swarm of bees around
You're
me.
not like a fan of like a low buzz.
No, I
you
don't want to
wanna
have
eat,
to
you know?
sit and like worry about whether if I'm taking a sip, I'm going to be sipping a bee.
Yeah, so our friend tonight, I don't know if we can name people, so I'll have to ask her if it's cool. I mean, literally the bee went in her beer, and she just kind of like looked at it, kind of tilted the glass, the bee flew out, and then she started drinking it again.
Yeah, no.
That's not you?
That's not me. No, I'm not a fan of that. So,
What else? What else? So I'm not a fan of subtropic bugs.
yeah. I would say like our Airbnb is very beautiful,
It is.
and there are some really great qualities about it. And I won't name anything so that just when we talk about things we don't like about it.
We're not like bad mouthing
No,
people.
like
And I have
the
to say,
owners have
like,
been very
they're
responsive.
so responsive. Like, it's not like when we lived in Seattle and we had like black mold, and we kept telling the landlord we had black mold, and he did jack shit about
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
That guy was such a cheap asshole.
Yeah.
But this is not that. They're responsive to everything.
Yes. But it's I mean, I could sit in the basement and fart and like you would hear it on the third floor. It echoes like everything. You can hear everything. In
Yeah,
this
you did
place.
the other day. My body shook, and I was 2 floors above you. I was like, "Damn." What's that? No, it's the like Cordy was using her like iPad, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Earl just was using her iPad, and like I could hear the music, and it was like louder outside of the room than it was in the room. Like it somehow echoes like right now. If our kids were awake, like all the way to the third floor. It's got this huge where the stairwell
Open
is a
space.
center house, and it goes all
very
the way up to the
modern.
ceiling. Very modern, like tons of hanging beautiful lights, but like that center channel. I mean, there is no soundproofing at
Yeah.
all whatsoever.
Yeah. I guess that's not really Mexico though. That's just the Airbnb.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Actually, the places we've been in are much more traditional, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like those more plaster stone walls, arches,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
tile work,
Yeah.
much more traditional. This place does not fit in, I don't think.
Yeah. It's we are really having to practice our Spanish, which is very helpful because I would say a lot of people don't speak English. That's one thing that I've noticed, which I think is like not a bad thing.
No, but I mean, I don't want to jump
Yeah.
on your thing, but I mean, I think I feel personally like embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I should know the language better.
Yes.
And so like I'm literally using Google Translate and trying to write out my phrasing to go order coffee when I go there because like I don't want to be the person that's like, you speak English? And I just feel
Yeah.
like a dick. Portugal, everybody spoke English, so it was just
Yeah.
like accepted, but that also forced us to kind of avoid the language. Whereas like
Yeah.
here, every day we're trying to learn something.
Yeah.
So I think that's been helpful.
Yes. And people are very good about it. Like I'd say most people haven't gotten annoyed.
No, the people have been very polite. That's
Yeah.
very nice. But it's true. Like I thought there would be a little bit. This was supposed to be more of an expat community, but you really like you will go into someone. It's like we had a night. We were at a restaurant tonight, and we were trying to speak a little bit of Spanish, and I said, my Spanish is not good, and then our waitress was like, I don't speak English at all.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's not their fault. We're Mexico.
Yeah.
We need to speak Spanish, but
Yeah.
clearly our Spanish is not up to snuff.
Yeah, we're muddling by there. I worry that we're not picking up on certain social things, or that like we are not aware of certain social things. Like we hired a nanny, a babysitter for our kids, while we're kind of doing stuff during the day, work-wise. And some things have happened there. Again, I won't go into like specific details where I'm like,
I feel like I
is
will.
this okay? Is this a cultural
like,
thing,
we're,
or is
we're,
this
we're
a...
not going to name. Listen, we're not going to name this person or the agency. I think we do tell what happens.
Yeah.
Because we're going to address it, and we'll end up talking about what happened. But like, we have had some issues.
Yeah.
With that, of like, I mean, we'll go to specifics. One is the fact that like she's taken the kids into some random person's house.
Yeah.
Like her mom's house, or apparently the other day they just went to some random person's house, according to our oldest, to use the bathroom.
I assume that the babysitter knows this. Like,
I'm guessing so.
Yeah.
But like they were there for like an hour.
Yeah, which I thought they were going to like play at the playground.
We said they're going to go to the playground or the square. Like
Yeah.
we were not getting any information about like going to some random person's house. Which
so
again,
this
that
is
may
not happening
be a
again.
cultural issue, but like that's not okay.
No.
Even if it's a cultural issue, it's still like.
Well,
this
I'm just
is where
like, I
expected you to be.
didn't. Should I have specified ahead of time the expectations? Like, I think in America, I would think that there's like an unwritten sort of expectation that you don't take kids that you're watching to like somebody else's house. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you do if you sell them.
Or like,
You know what I mean? Like you're selling your kids away. Like you can make good money off that kind of stuff.
yeah. And so, or, and then the second thing is that we have given money to the nanny for like food, or like, it's like, oh, while you're out, if you, it really only happens like 2 days.
Well, yeah, I think the first one seemed okay because it seemed like a small trip. It was this on Friday,
Yeah.
which is the one where I gave her basically $30 in US, so 600 pesos, and she gave me back, I think about 65 pesos. So she gave me back about $3. But my eldest said that they had 2 ice creams. And unless you're in Uruguay or you're in Monte Carlo or something, there's no way that 2 ice creams cost $27.
Yeah.
So there's something not right there.
Right. So, and like my question is she expecting that like because we don't speak great Spanish and she doesn't speak great English, my question was like, is she like, oh, you're giving me money because I'm taking the kids out, like it's like a bonus? Or
no, because I asked her for the change back.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm wondering if like there's some kind of cultural thing here that like we're going to give you this money and we expect you to give us the change.
You're potentially right, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but I think that's the point you're saying here is like we're probably not aware of some of the cultural imperatives of the situation. But I'm gonna do my best on a translator on Monday and to be like, hey, can you tell me about what happened here? Did you expect that money was just a extra bonus for taking them out? Like, I'm gonna ask that question. I think it's a fair question to ask.
Yeah.
If so, sure. Why don't we do what we do now, which is spend 6 hours in the house watching Moana on repeat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a tough month. I think it's not what we really expected. I guess I expected it, again, unfair. My expectation was that the nanny would take them on walks and take them to the playground and spend time with them and do stuff. But they seem to just stay around the house and watch TV all day.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that is what they do. And I mean, I think she has attempted to play some games or
she does. She does some stuff, and
that.
she does a little bit. But I think like on a regular basis, they just end up watching.
Well, and I also think like we've been very we were like up until this point we were very nervous about saying like somebody we don't know, like you can go out with our 2 kids.
I agree
and I
with
think
that,
like
but our concern was taking them to random person's houses.
Exactly, which like was well founded apparently.
Yeah, correct. That was the concern. Is like, what are you gonna stick to the plan? You
right.
know?
So anyway.
What else is on your list? I haven't
go for it. Do your list.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think that's all I can think of right now.
Okay, you want me to go negative or positive first?
It's your list.
I'm gonna go positive first because that's not like me.
Yeah.
You expect me to be the person that says this is a big shit bag,
Yeah.
which it's not. Coffee culture here
Oh, the
is
coffee's
off
delicious.
the charts.
I only like coffee.
We were in Portugal, and I was just sad. And Lisbon is much better. We're in a very small town in Sintra, and the coffee culture there was not good. I lived off Nespresso, and sorry for people who like Nespresso, it's shit. I don't care which way you want to do it. Maybe the centrifuges are better. My little mini machine was like me just grudgingly drinking coffee each morning just to do it. And that sucks, man.
Yeah.
If I'm going to drink coffee, I want to enjoy it. So here are multiple roasters, multiple regions. I mean, like the one shop we went to that has amazing stuff. They have some wild level like computer system and screen where they're doing all of their like roasting and measuring. There's a place near our house that just has fantastic coffee. So probably the best mochas or cappuccinos I have ever had.
Agreed.
Espressos, zero bitterness, floral, gorgeous, delicate. I mean, people know their freaking coffee here. It is a phenomenal coffee culture. I mean, even tonight, our friend had a random cappuccino at a Greek restaurant. She's like, this is incredible. So it's just, oh my God, if I love the coffee here. I mean, I could stay here for coffee alone.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else have I liked culturally? I love the commerce here. There's a real support of just general commerce in the sense that local business, right?
Yeah.
Like you can put a pop-up shop anywhere you want to.
Yeah.
You can sell anywhere, and there's people that wander around. I mean, I opened the door to our house and someone tried to sell me tamales.
And rugs.
And rugs. I mean, anything, and it's not pushy. It's just like, you're there. I mean, we're at restaurants. People are walking through. What was that guy that walks through the restaurants? He's trying to give us something. Vanilla. Natural vanilla he's selling. So I do like that. I like that there's not a licensure system.
Or that we know of.
Well, maybe there is. I think people look the other way.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can get street tacos, street ice cream. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Street basically anything on these little carts, from local grocery needs to any kind of like different levels of food. So I love that. I think that that's super cool. That Parque Juarez is beautiful. Basketball courts, people selling paintings on the weekends. There's laying out these unbelievable original
the artwork
paintings.
here is really beautiful.
The galleries and the artwork here are off the charts. What a cool art community, art stores, painting stores. I love that. I think that's beautiful. I like the cobblestone streets. The tiny sidewalks are tough to navigate, but if I didn't have a under 2-year-old, I think it would be beautiful.
Yeah.
The food's been hit or miss for me. So I've had a couple of things that have been phenomenal and a couple of restaurants that have been what I would consider expensive. I mean, I'm not gonna, this isn't like San Miguel's fault, so I won't blame this. Again, this goes to my expectations. I thought things were going to be cheaper.
Like Portugal.
Yeah, peso to dollar rating, cost rating, and maybe outside the city they are. But our dinners have, like, consistently for 4 of us cost somewhere between, I'd say, 60 and $120 for dinners, depending on if we get drinks, what we do. But places like
it's not that much
meals are
different.
cheaper technically than some of the stuff in the U.S. is just nuts. But it was more expensive than I thought. In Portugal, I thought we were living like royalty, and we'd get these incredible meals for like $25 for all of us.
Yeah.
But here, that's just not happening. So the cost spending is higher. You find better deals, I think, on like commerce, like little trinkets, the kids' toys. That's cheaper.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten them a bunch of different toys that occupy themselves. Fun stuff, 3D printed stuff, glow in the dark, random stores like that just pop up next door. People don't use POS systems. They've got a calculator.
Yeah, and a ledger, like where they
The
write
ledgers. Oh my God, these beautiful, like they're writing stuff in ledgers. I love the one I took Cordy to the other day, and we went in to get toys, and the 2 purveyors that own the business both had calculators, and they kept coming up with different numbers when they added in all our toys together, and so they had to duke it out to figure out who was going to get it right.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm like, I don't feel great about this. I'm doing like some mental math as the 2 of you are using calculators.
Yeah.
But the toys have been a lot cheaper.
And that one little store that only sells avocados. It's
I
like
love
an
that.
actual store.
You walk by, okay, this woman I found sleeping at least 6 times, but it's just avocados.
That's just, a bunch of
Solamente avocados. I like the copper here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of copper stuff. If you're into hammered copper, God, I'm such a dork. Our sink in the B&B is emerald copper, and there's just a lot of copper, which that would be probably way more expensive US wide because you just don't see it. But here there's a lot of copper, which is cool. I like this stuff made in Mexico. So like the shoes we found today, multiple places they hand make their own stuff. So getting coffee from here. So look at me.
Look at you.
Look at
all
me.
of those positives.
All those great, wonderful, positive things I like.
I think it's going to be balancing. I don't know if it will balance out the other side.
It will. I think it will. You know, I mean, I've already hit a couple of them. You know, I think it's expensive here, more to my expectation than I thought it would be. And we've been told that San Miguel is kind of, because it's becoming an expat community, because
Like
there's
a
more
touristy
Airbnbs,
place.
because they have 2 million tourists per year. The prices are going up exponentially. So we kind of are getting hit with that tourist pricing, which you can see that in the Jardín each day in the square. It's like stuff is expensive, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not a subtropics person either. I think this is what sucks. Like Meghan tried to convince me in the past. 2 of her friends moved to Denver. And she's like, we should move to Denver. I love Denver. Dude, Denver is so dry. It is such an arid desert. And I get it. There's mountains. There's
there are like
skiing.
snakes and stuff there too.
It's a desert. I cannot personally live in a landlocked place. I can't. People are ordering sushi. Where the hell are you getting your sushi from? Who's flying that into San Miguel?
Yeah, how old is that sushi?
If you're flying it into like a major city, so let's just say like Las Vegas or something, even like Denver, God forbid, there's a major airport. You're probably flying commercial. You can get shit flown in each day. San Miguel? No, you're not. You're not flying it because
that fish has been sitting.
That fish is sitting. You stuffed it in a cooler,
An ice pack,
and put some ice packs around it in the back of your Ford Taurus and drove
There's
it in
no
here.
air conditioning, so
Yeah, so that is another fact. Like and it doesn't get super hot here. It's been like maybe 80s and then nights in the 50s, but the house gets hot and it's warm. And we have some giant industrial fans.
And people don't use air conditioning in the cars. Like when we've taken Ubers a couple of times, they don't use air conditioning.
Yeah, they don't use it.
Just very interesting.
Why use that? And again, this is the part where I have to check myself. We're bougie.
We are, and
we are
coming
clearly,
from a very
we are clearly
American
used to being
viewpoint.
American and like comfortable, but like that's a bit of a shock. So I mean, I don't expect this place to have air conditioning, but my issue is more that it's dry, and we're at 7,000 feet.
Yeah, that was a bit of an adjustment.
What week are we on now? We've been here for about 10 days or so. I still get tired. I'm still tired. I mean, you were proud of yourself, like you ran the mile tonight trying to catch us from the square as you went back to get the rainbow umbrella you left by an ATM. Yeah. And you're like, look at me. And you are. I think you adapt better because you're younger than me.
I'm not that much younger
and
than
you.
you.
Are younger.
I'm
and
younger,
more
like
beautiful.
2 years younger.
You are 3 years younger than me, and we're in different generations, for God's sake.
Please, let's not start that again. We are not in different generations.
So that whole like desert, subtropic, like I will echo your sentiment. I mean, we were at a restaurant and the food was fantastic, but the main wait station, this table, I mean, was inundated with bees and flies.
Yeah, it was gross.
So when they were like reaching underneath to get ice, you could just see the flies going around everywhere. And I'm like, oh great, we're gonna, contract some level of disease at some point.
I know. Like, and our youngest, like almost 2-year-old was like eating shit off of the ground. And I was like, she's gonna get worms. We're gonna have to go and like deworm her after this.
I think we're probably. I mean,
she was eating dirt.
Well, here's the amazing thing, and this is gonna get positive.
They haven't
got sick yet.
I know, which I'm like, and what the hell?
Portugal, they got
you
sick.
You said it. They're gonna get sick tomorrow.
Multiple times. I think it has to do with the fact they're not around a ton of other kids.
It's true.
Which helps dramatically. But just saying. Other pieces of this that are difficult. I think it's. I have a hard time with the traffic culture here. Mm-hmm. So there are no stop signs.
Yeah.
There are no stop lights.
No.
There, to my understanding, are no laws when it comes to motor vehicles. So people ride four-wheelers, mopeds, motorcycles, no helmets, nobody.
Oh yeah, like there was a family with like a two parents, a child, and like a dog all
Yes.
riding a scooter.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I saw 6 people on a four-wheeler the other
Yeah.
day. Like they were riding on top of the front wheel, back wheel, and 2 in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
I see them sandwich the kids.
Yeah.
So they'll be in a motorcycle. One will hold the handlebars. The other adult will be in the back, basically having their ass run over, like ripping through a tire. And they'll stuff the 2-year-old between the 2 of them and make like a baby sandwich.
Yeah.
And apparently that's safe somehow.
I mean, I guess like, you know.
I mean, pickup trucks with 6 people in the back, that's normal.
Yeah.
Let's just put people in the back of it. So, and these roads are cobblestone, rough roads.
Oh yeah.
Very narrow sidewalks, huge stones. You couldn't drive fast if you wanted to, but it's loud and there's no stop signs. And the buses,
They don't stop.
they don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
They don't stop for anybody. So you're standing there on the curb and you're hoping to make eye contact with somebody who basically waves you by but looks pissed off the whole time as they're waving you by. They have the hand up in the air and then they vigorously move it forward towards their face. You know, like, oh, fuck you. I'm sorry. I'm walking. You know, like, it just seems very much like pedestrians are in the way here. And they blocked off roads around this main Ardenne, the square, which is nice. I think they should block off like 12 blocks all the way down to the cool market, which I like, all the way through the Ardenne. But the fact that there's so much traffic because people can't go fast.
Yeah.
And there's like 8,000 kinds of vehicles on the road.
Yeah.
It just seems like a place, like, I'm glad we don't have a car here.
Yes.
But
I would not feel comfortable riding.
But I'm just like, how many people are getting run over? I don't know. I haven't seen anything significant.
Well, when we were in that Uber the one day, somebody almost got run over. Or they.
Oh yeah, our Uber driver. Like we had to take an Uber at one point. Literally hit a dude with the mirror of his car because he wasn't crossing the road fast enough. And I looked up at his face in the mirror, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, I got him." It was like he swatted a fly, you know, like give a sense of satisfaction.
Well, I was probably also your reaction because you were like, "Oh shit!"
I was like, "Oh shit!" And Courtney's like, "What happened? What happened? What happened?" I was like, "This guy just whacked the dude with a mirror," and he looked like satisfied, like he had killed a pest. He like ended the nuisance. So yeah, the driving culture here throws me off.
Yeah.
I think I'm always. I mean, we live in a place like this, but when we have like a meal that I think is expensive and it's shit.
Yeah.
Like we did the other night. So, of course, like, you know, this happens in every city. There's people trying to be like, oh, it's the best rooftop in all of Mexico.
Yeah, or like,
and they're trying
here's
to pull
some
us
white
in.
people walking down the street.
Look at these gringos. Let's
Yeah,
bring them in.
you
And so,
should come into this
we
restaurant.
bring it in. Like, I fall for this shit because to me, I think about the kids because we're in a small space and the food is good and they're freaking out. I'm like, whatever. So we go to these rooftop bars, and the last one we went
Places
to,
where the kids can run around.
yeah, they need to run around. And we had the last one there. Both of our food just sucked. I mean, I just think it sucked for the amount of money we spent. So I think like, but I've also had some really good food. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a balance between the two, you know?
Yes.
I like, this will get to our point, which is where we're trying to get to, because we need to come back to these maggots. I like our Airbnb because we have an office space. So the bottom floor used to be like an office for a photographer, right?
It's like
Who
a
owned the
photography
building.
studio.
And so Megan and I can work here, which is really nice. We both need to work. But I would say there's a laundry room, and the laundry room is outside. So if it rains, you have to have on like shoes so you can walk outside where it's wet. And I've had my clothes get rained on.
I just don't
here.
understand how like the washing machine, it's electric. Like how does that
It's
how
electric.
does that boogie,
Boogie, woogie.
how is that? I mean, clearly there's lots of places here where the laundry facilities are out on a rooftop, but I just don't
it really?
understand. Yeah,
Have you noticed that?
I saw it on a bunch of the Airbnbs
Oh,
I was
shit.
looking at. Like it's a thing.
That's a thing.
Yeah, but I don't understand how they don't get ruined, how the machines don't get ruined.
I couldn't tell you that either, but interestingly enough, multiple times I tried to put out like delicates because I don't want my clothes to get ruined, and they've been rained on in the afternoon, but like I have to go switch over to laundry tonight, and I'm going to go outside and I'm going to put my socks down and walk in water.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. So that I don't love, but I think we have run into kind of an array of problems here. Oh wait, I need to do one more.
Okay.
One more. I'm sorry. I'm going to go backwards, and then we'll go back to the Airbnb folly, okay? And that'll be our ending point. So when we were in Portugal, I probably said this in the first episode, but I'm going to repeat myself. I told you I'm struggling here because I'm missing some of these main factors that help me feel levels of happiness, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what are those things? I said, I want a kitchen where I'm like, it's open so I can cook and there are people there. We were in like a closet stuffed in this space in Portugal.
Yes.
I said, I really want something with my music and movies. So I bought myself a nice little setup in my headphones to do that. And I said, the third one is in Portugal, I didn't have a gym. And that was a real mistake. I ended up trying to do like push-ups for 3 months and it failed miserably. So I was like, we're joining a gym. And Megan's like, okay, let's do this. So we went looking for gyms
Yes, we did.
in San Miguel and we found Extreme Gym.
I think I did mention that I screamed bloody murder in the gym on our first day because I felt like the weights were dropping on me.
I don't think we told the exact
I think
story.
I
Did you
talked
tell the story?
about that story.
Oh man.
Maybe I did.
So I did some research before we came out here, and it seemed like the gyms were, I mean, again, this is kind of a cultural thing. It kind of like, it wasn't expensive, right?
No.
We both got a monthly membership for $20, but this equipment is from 35 years ago.
It's handmade. Like the
What?
dumbbells, for sure.
Oh,
the
the
dumbbells
dumbbells
are
are.
like pieces of metal that have been cut and then like round 5 kilogram or maybe 5 pounds. It depends.
They're all over the place.
They're all over the
Yeah,
place.
you can't
have
tell.
been soldered on to these like
Well, they
metal
welded them, they
pieces.
didn't solder.
Okay,
but
okay.
they
Welded
them.
okay.
Okay.
So the dumbbells are God knows what weight, and they're just like soldered.
You have to go by feel. You can't really, if you wanted to like analyze the amount, you're
No.
kind of like, this feels heavy.
But it's been a fun experience. I've actually really enjoyed it.
Have you enjoyed it? So like you get on this leg press machine with
I mean,
those
it's very dirty.
really, the whole, I mean, you have to use hand sanitizer because you're
but
like
I put
covered
my
in dirt
phone down.
afterwards.
It was like phone was.
I don't think
covered
anything
in
has ever
dirt.
been wiped, but like it's kind of like Kmart. But like the machine with the leg press, like it has like 2 wheels and a track, and it's like these wheels haven't even been like WD-40, so
No.
it gets stuck.
It does.
And so you basically got stuck.
Yeah, I was trying to push it back up, and not only was like the weight heavier than maybe I expected. See previous
Right,
comment.
which again, we didn't know the weight. Yes.
And then also it's like hitting rust, so it got stuck and I couldn't push it back up, so I'm like screaming for you.
I got my headphones in. I'm like halfway across the gym. Did it! Did it!
And the like owner of the gym
The owner
comes
came
running
over.
over.
This huge dude wears Dallas Cowboy shit. I don't know why. Anyway, comes over to save you from that situation.
Oh my god, it's so embarrassing.
But this gym is like, this is the kind of thing Rocky IV would do in Russia if he had like no equipment. It's just funny. It's just, they get all this stuff, like other stuff, all the machines is like from Gold's Gym, the 80s. Like they watch old Arnold Schwarzenegger videos. Like this is the equipment, but it's been beaten for like 40 years.
Yeah.
But yes, I've actually had a great time with you doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to put this as a negative because, I mean, we haven't like had some kind of like at least we got our tetanus shot, right? We're okay.
Yeah.
But like, I'm surprised we haven't gotten more cut or hurt. Like, there's no liability situations here.
Oh no.
Like,
No, it's like,
we didn't sign
here, like
contracts.
we had just handed over
We had them
cash.
cash, and hey, listen, they moved up in the world. I heard it was like a ledger you signed. Now they have a fingerprint thing for
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
which I'm pretty sure
They're
is-
very nice though.
They're awesome. They're so cool. I will say that I did say the brand name. If you come here, you need to get the membership. Like,
Yeah.
I will 100% vouch for the situation and say they're extremely kind. They're nice people. They want people to be there.
Yes.
And I also see the owners constantly, they know the people there. They're working with them. They work out with them.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that, like, it's very much a community gym.
And there's women there too, so it doesn't feel
It's
like
a nice mix. That's a
Yeah.
great point. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so used to, like, things being very male.
Yeah.
And that gym has a
Nice
mix of bodies,
Yeah.
a mix of people. It's like 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, we're probably one of the few white people that are there.
Yeah.
But it's a very much like a community-based gym, and I think that's cool as shit.
Right.
Like, if we didn't have children, we'd go every day.
Exactly. I mean, we hear that there are more quote unquote modern facilities, but this is very close to where we're staying.
I kind of love this.
Yeah.
I'm not upset about it.
Yeah.
Like, we can get everything we need,
Yeah.
basically. Except lay on the ground. We've been doing
No,
all
we've been doing
standing
standing
crunches
abs because
we
the
don't wanna
ground
lay on
is
the
so
ground.
dirty. So so gross.
Okay, so the Airbnb.
Okay.
All right, so this is where we'll go into it. So I want to love this place because it
really
is
do.
modern, and I
it's,
like that.
and it is very, like, it matches the pictures.
Yeah, it's like really cool lighting fixtures and sconces and hanging lights, and it's 3 stories. It's got 2 bedrooms on 1 floor, 2 bathrooms. I mean, it's got 4 bathrooms.
Got a whole
total,
like open area that you
3.5.
can like sit in the kitchen or the living room and like open up to this little like
The courtyard,
veranda
basically,
area.
this little courtyard space, which is
very nice.
It's
Except
gorgeous.
there's so many flies that you can't really open the doors.
Yeah, it's hard to open the door, so there's screens on each door. And then off the owner's bedroom, or the top bedroom at the top, which gets pretty hot, is a whole like rooftop deck with plants and little umbrella out there. I mean, it's hard for us to get to because one of my qualms is that bedroom has this tiny little armoire we can barely fit any clothes into.
Yeah.
And so like we really haven't gotten out of our suitcases.
I know, our suitcases.
I kind of want a dresser somewhere, which it's funny enough, we went into this other Airbnb last night that had plenty of closet space. I mean, it would have been perfect, but this place, like, it weirdly has these cool amenities and then it's just missing other ones.
I mean, if you wanted to put all your clothes in the basement in the office, there's tons of storage.
I guess I
space.
could do that. That's the
And
point.
then you have to come down and
You
get
gotta come
dressed
down
in
here
the
and get
basement.
here every day, because there's not a shower down here.
Yeah.
It's odd because it's missing certain things, right? There's no oven, there's no blender,
There's
right?
no microwave.
There's no microwave. And I'm not saying you need all these things, like we're making do, which it means we're going out to eat all the time, but it just seems odd. But what happened, what changed here is like right off the bat, we started running into problems. Like from the moment we got here, the basement toilet didn't work.
Well, I'll say this.
right?
Wait, I got a message from the owner as we were driving in that said, just so you know, there's a leak in the fridge.
Oh, that's right.
I've looked at it, and it's the weekend, so I can't get somebody in to fix it, but there'll be somebody in on Monday to fix it.
Okay.
Right? So that was like where it started. There's a leak in the fridge. And so when we got here, there's like a cereal bowl in the back of the fridge,
In the back of the fridge,
that's
water
like
all over
just
it.
got water dripping into it.
Yes, correct.
Um,
But the toilet also didn't work.
and the basement toilet did not work.
Yeah, it didn't work. You
Yeah.
flushed it one time and it stopped. It didn't work.
I'll just be honest. I took a shit in that basement, okay, toilet,
So
and then
Megan's
I
first
went to
use of
go
it, she takes
flush it, and it didn't flush. And so then I'm like, what the? There's a turd just like floating around in this basement toilet.
For like 4 days, I kept trying to flush it. It was just
I wouldn't flush.
this rogue turd,
and
just
then,
like
they
I'm
had to
still
clean-
here.
so
I'm
nasty.
gonna embarrass the shit out of you.
And then the cleaner came, and somehow the turd went away.
This
So I'm
is-
like,
okay,
what
yes.
the
This
hell
is the
did
best
you?
thing. Okay, so she didn't fix the toilet. The cleaner comes, the turd is gone, but the toilet doesn't work. So,
Oh God, it's so
so
mortifying.
how do you imagine this? Did she take a plastic bag
don't wanna
and like
know.
fish it out? Did she have like a little net? Like, how did she get it out of there? You know what I
I
mean?
don't want to know.
And
Yeah, it's just no.
what do you
it's
think she
too-
said when she looked at him? She was like, you know what I mean? Had his eyes open, like,
She tried to flush it. It
Gringos.
didn't flush.
oh, I tried for 4 days.
And then she's like, "Oh damn it!"
I don't know what you ate, but I'm thinking water should break shit down a little bit. Like, why did you have this hard submarine that was hanging out in there? You know what I mean?
Listen,
Like,
when
what
I
did you
travel, I get a
eat?
little constipated. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
Like the
gosh.
first week,
Listen,
I feel
Listen, I have had some horrendous shits in life, so this is more just for comic relief. But yeah, thank you for that detail. I forgot that she removed it. So finally, after like a week, a first team comes in to fix the refrigerator and the toilet. Okay, that team leaves, and both the refrigerator still leaks, and the toilet flushed one time and then continued to run.
Yeah.
Now the owner texts us and said, "Hey, there's a problem with the toilet downstairs. There's something going on.
They need a part
I
that
have
they
to get
can't
a part
get."
that they can't get. They have to order it. It's going to come in." So I don't know.
The fridge they said was fixed.
They said it was fixed. Okay.
But then we looked in and
right away,
everything
it
in
was
there was wet.
worse. Now the whole fridge was wet. It got worse. So we text again, and so she sends somebody else out, and that this was like right after the cleaner had come. So it was like the next day. And then we were seeing water all over the floor in front of the fridge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, we have like a serious problem here. So this other guy comes in, really nice, comes in the house. And he comes upstairs and he starts working just to fix the refrigerator, not the toilet, by the way. And so he comes back to me after a few hours. He has some parts. He took the whole freezer apart. I mean, he took that shit apart. I don't know what the first person did, but this guy took the whole thing apart. So then he goes over and shows me. He goes, oh, by the way, he's like, I fixed it. By the way, the water all over the floor is not from the refrigerator. It's the fact that the 5-gallon jug that they bring us a 5-gallon jug of water because you can't drink the water, which is also something to talk about. Here. But anyway, point is was actually had a leak in the side. And it was pouring water out of the side.
Because they're reusable jugs.
They're reusable jugs, but like we didn't know.
Which is fine, but yes, there was a crack in it.
There was a crack in the jug. So I was like, it's just another weird error that we had, like just pouring water all over the place, and we thought was the refrigerator. It turned out to be this 5-gallon jug.
Yes.
Okay, so next, so then,
oh god.
So I mean, it must have been probably the next day. We're still waiting for this toilet to get fixed.
Yeah.
Our eldest goes in the bathroom. And I hear her go, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. And I go over and I look in and there's just water everywhere in the bathroom. I mean, it is like covered. I'm like, Cordy, what happened? She goes, I don't know. I was just washing my hands. And so I'm looking at it. I mean, there's water all around the toilet, all on the floor. I mean, almost the entire floor is covered. I open up the cabinet under the sink and there's this single... it's pretty like a plastic scrunchy tube that's supposed to lead to the back of the cabinet, and it's just out.
Like disconnected.
And it's pouring water out of the cabinet onto the floor. And I go, Cordy, what happened? She goes, I don't know. And so I go up to touch the sink. The entire sink, which is on top of this vanity, is not attached. It's just sliding around like a hockey puck on ice.
Oh my god.
And so so I put this thing back in the back of the vanity. And then I just go back to touch the sink. And of course, as soon as the sink moves, it pulls the tube out. So the tube's not sealed in the back of the vanity, and the sink is not sealed on the vanity.
So then also you used all of these towels that were in there, which then, for whatever reason, I don't know what's on the floor or what was in the water or what, but all of the towels were stained.
The living shit out of all the towels I used. I don't know what that was or why that was. I'm scared of whatever that was.
Yeah.
So I'll come back to the stained towels later. Okay, so now that's messed up. So we call again.
And now I'm like, this
4th time we've called her about
God,
this.
I'm like,
So,
I'm like, we should call for these things, but my social anxiety is saying this person's gonna hate us.
If we went to a restaurant and we're in the U.S. and the person who waited on us literally sat on the table and took a shit on Megan's meal, she'd tip them 20%. She'd flat tip them 20%. If they're the best service she's ever had in her life, I mean, person's incredible. They come to us multiple times. They take care of things. They're just intuitive. They give her, they find the best wine. They do everything for her. 20%. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't care how good or how bad you are, you get 20%. You were a socialist before socialists got cool. Like you get everybody 20%.
Yeah, well,
My point is like, yes, there's a social anxiety that happens there. So we felt bad. I did too, even though I don't have as much as you do. But we had. So they could not find someone to work on it. So the owner came.
Oh, also you forgot the leak in the roof because they came to fix that at the same time.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. Right by where we were working by the desk, when every time it would rain, there was a leak because they have these. It's a really cool, like that courtyard we talked about. Also has glass area. They do a lot of glass work in the house. It's a
to bring
natural light. It's really nice, but it was clearly leaking. So it's like shooting puddles of water downstairs. So we called them and told them about both. So they actually drove out on a Sunday to investigate. The guy that came was surprised that the sink was not sealed because I said in the message. They went back to the store, grabbed sealing caulk, came and sealed everything in, sealed off the glass upstairs, and said the plumber would be back the next day.
Yeah. And by the way, there was, after all of that happened, my oldest daughter was sitting in a different place in the basement where there's a little couch, and it had just rained. And there was water leaking from the ceiling onto the couch.
So below this courtyard area we're talking about isn't really a yard, it's a big concrete slab. and underneath the concrete slab are these metal girders holding it up. But if you look up underneath this concrete slab, because where the bottom floor is, you can actually see the stains in the ceiling where the water is permeating the ceiling.
Yeah, so they've already now fixed the toilet, fixed the refrigerator.
Well, they didn't fix the toilet.
Okay, they hadn't fixed the toilet.
They tried to fix the toilet.
Tried to fix the toilet. Came out to recock this bathroom and fix like the quote unquote leak.
Yes.
And yet now we see another leak leaking onto their sofa, and I'm like, God, do we tell them there's another leak? Because it's going to ruin their sofa. But I was like, I don't want to call again.
Well, I told her. So the next day, they show up with the plumbing person who comes in and completely removes the basement toilet.
The toilet's like out of the bathroom.
Like out of the bathroom, sitting on the side. The owner came in. I was like, oh my God. She's like, yeah, he's got to replace something. I'm like, really? So, puts in this whole seal in the bottom, puts the toilet back in, and I told the owner about the dripping ceiling, and she was like, oh, I guess we have to reseal the area again, and I'm like, I'm sorry to have to tell you that, this is what it is. And oh, by the way, that sealed glass area was still leaking again as well.
Yeah.
So, apparently they fixed the toilet, but literally the next day I flushed the toilet.
It runs.
And it just runs.
I'm not going to talk.
The toilet's just running. For
I can't tell
4 or 5 hours, you just hear the sound of it running. And of course, again, the house is terrible at sound, so you can hear it on every floor. This toilet running all night. So if you like white noise, this is great. Okay, so this leads us to, here we are. We're going to get to the end.
Okay, so I will say on our very first day, I said, because I didn't know like what the expectations were, I said, how do we take out the trash? Okay. And again, we talked about the flies. I did not realize how bad the situation was here with this. Yes. But anyway, I said, how do we take out the trash?
Right.
The owner wrote back very kindly and was like, here's the location of the trash that you take it to, but it's kind of annoying to get to. And so you do have a cleaner that's part of your service. Oh my God, I just saw a bug running across the floor.
Live. Coming to you live. We're going to bug infestation.
I hope it was just a cricket.
Oh my gosh. We're going to talk about the crickets.
Oh my God. They were super loud crickets. That's just the least of the worries. Now they're gone. I don't know.
They're so loud.
Anyway.
But they eat them here, so it's okay.
She said that it's very annoying to get to. Yeah. You have a cleaner who comes once a week. She'll help you with the trash. So I said, fine. Like in my head, fine. We don't have to take the trash out. That's how I interpreted it. I don't know if that's what she meant.
Which side note, I need to also say, there's no recycling here.
There's no recycling.
Which is a big thing I have. That's another negative I didn't add earlier. But the reason I say that is because, as you can imagine, now I have more stuff. We got pizza boxes. We have like bottles of I'm water. Drinking Topo Chico like it's going out of style. So like we're filling up more trash than we normally do, and the trash can outside is a tiny trash can. I mean, basically the size of a kitchen U.S. trash can. Again, not a negative, but it just tells you how quickly with diapers and a family of 4, what's going to happen.
Right. So we have friends over last night. We're having fun. We're drinking some beers.
We're listening to 90s mixes. We're having some beers. Now, we should go backwards, go forwards. Remember, so just so we know, so we set this up. The trash can outside, which is the blue, this blue kind of like a kitchen level trash bag. It's very trash can. It has 1 bag in it. Well, at this point, we've overfilled it, and we don't have any replacements.
Oh, yeah, because they didn't give us
trash bags. So we bought trash bags at the local store. They fit the kitchen bins.
Which are like tiny,
but I couldn't find anything that was large enough to fit this other bin. So at this point now, I have 3 or 4 trash bags which are now not in the blue bin.
Yes.
So they're outside on the courtyard. I know people are going to be like, oh, that was your first problem. Yeah.
I'll
take some responsibility here. I also thought the cleaner was coming Thursday, and then this would have been taken care of.
So the cleaner, like, we got a message saying that the cleaner couldn't come until like several days later, Saturday. Yeah. And I just didn't think about.
Neither did I. I didn't think you were gonna get like an infestation. Like I just didn't think about it,
So I went to, what I've been doing is taking the diapers, especially poopy diapers, and I'm putting them out in the outdoor trash can with the lid, because I don't want the house to start smelling like shit because there's no like diaper pail.
Gotcha.
So I went and opened the door after I changed the baby's diaper right before bed, and the entire top of the trash can lid is covered in maggots.
How did you not? But the maggots were on the other trash bags. Didn't you see them
I
there?
did not, because it's dark and there was only one small light.
Oh my God.
And when I say covered, I mean
I would love
covered.
to tell you Meghan was exaggerating here on bugs, but like this is movie level maggot infestation going on.
And I don't know, like, why we didn't notice. I mean, there must have been some that came. I don't know why it all of a sudden, like, went from
You weren't looking
zero.
we weren't looking at the floor, right? So this wasn't zero. They were already manifesting outside. We just weren't looking at the floor because you don't see this maggot. I mean, it's like a tiny. They're small. Okay.
Oh, okay, so that, and then I'm like, oh, we have maggots, and I'm thinking it's a small amount, but then I start really looking.
Yeah.
And they are fucking everywhere.
So just so we're like, yeah, no, she's right. So we have, this beautiful little courtyard means that there's 3 sets of sliding doors on each side. Our living room, one of the bedrooms, and the kitchen all accompany like this area where the trash bags are. So these suckers are coming in underneath the door into 3 different rooms.
Yeah.
And they're coming in at about every minute, about 3 or 4 are coming in.
Right, like I look down and I'm finding them on the kitchen floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finding them in the bedroom floor. I'm finding them in the living room floor.
Yep.
I start I'm taking like a paper towel and I'm squishing them and they're popping under my finger.
Popping some maggots, you know. Really
I was just like,
appetizing move.
I'm at this point like having full on phobia reaction to this, which is not good because, you know, I'm freaking our kids out.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a couple of like, not saying you shouldn't be concerned about maggots from a health perspective, but you and I confronted a couple of times and I was like, they're going to feed off the energy that's happening right now.
It didn't help that an hour before, my dad, who is a veterinarian, sent a letter from the USDA that was basically like, veterinarians beware, there's a like higher than normal, like aggressive form of maggots coming from Mexico. So livestock that's being transitioned from Mexico. So he's like, hey, just FYI, watch out for the maggots. And then this happens an hour later. We're doing everything.
So here we go. So I'm fervently like researching the internet, trying to figure out ways to do this. So like I have this like jar of salt. I have a bottle of Fabuloso cleaner, and I'm boiling water. And so I'm dumping the salt in every one of these little catches where the sliding doors are, because it was supposed to, like a slug, suck out their moisture and kill them. These suckers are like, they're like moving
they're
through
like,
it.
I love salt.
Like,
give me more.
I love savory, motherfuckers.
And they're crawling up the walls of the
They're
like
up the
glass
walls.
doors.
They're going through. I'm picking these things up with a paper towel and I'm throwing them in the boiling water. And then I'm dumping the boiling water into these crevice cracks with the salt and the cleaner, just thinking I'm going to slow them down and the boiling water is going to kill them on contact.
Oh, God.
But I couldn't kill them fast enough. You know what I mean? It's like the
They're
floodwaters are
coming, they
coming
just
in.
keep coming,
You're
coming.
stuffing sandbags against this floodwater, but the water's just rising. Like, that's basically what we're in. So Meghan, like...
I was like, fuck
it,
we're leaving.
Yeah,
we're out. We're leaving.
She was right. She was like, we're going to a hotel. And I think I was just not there. I was like, one, we have to defend this place against the intruders. I've taken an oath to
I was like,
this place
stop
intruders
doing that and come help
domestic.
me fucking pack.
Well, the funny part was, like, you know, Meghan was like very high level concerned here, and our eldest, I'd say 45 minutes before we even left, was already packing her bag. She was packing.
She was looking up hotels on her iPad.
She got her iPad. She was showing me the hotels she found. She had packed her bag, which By the way, it was pretty funny because, like, of course, like we were under duress, and so I found like when she packed her bag, she packed like a week's worth of clothes. Like
She really wanted to go to her hotel.
she could have soaked 8 pairs of socks because she had a ninth. Like that's what she packed.
She
herself.
was like, "We're moving out. We're going to a
She's like,
hotel.
"We're
There's
done.
going to
We're
be a
go-
pool."
We're going to a hotel. I'm going to find a pool. And Daddy, look at these places I found. And I feel bad because I don't think I was really there emotionally to listen to her, but she was doing a good job of being responsible.
Yeah.
Probably to protect herself, but also to protect us. So,
And she likes an adventure, let's be honest.
she loves hotels.
Yeah.
She loves spending money. Loves spending money. Oh my God, what a fan. She just loves to spend money. Thank God that we can we can say no at some point because she loves. Anyway, I was the last one to come around. Meghan literally at one point was like, "Get your shit, we're leaving." That's what she said to me. Which I've had a couple of moments where she denies saying things this strongly.
I did.
She
Yeah,
literally
I
said,
did. Because
"Get
I
your
was like,
shit."
I'm not sleeping here tonight.
I'm not
I
sleeping
am
here.
not sleeping here tonight. I
So-
had briefly thought about sleeping in the upstairs, and I was like,
That's what I
nope.
thought we were going to do, was sleep on the 3rd floor, but she's like, "Nope, we have an infestation, we're leaving." So I had already been texting with the owner about what was going on, and she was like, "Do you want me to, I can come down?" I said, "I don't know what you're going to do." I said, "I need vinegar, like I don't have enough killers," but I said, "I don't know that that's going to do it." I had thrown boiling water out there and tried to kill as many as I could, but like at this point, they're probably, I mean, it's decaying organic matter, right? So they are in the bag, must have been way more than we saw the outside.
I can't.
I'm sure
I'm like
in
gagging.
The level that, I mean, we this is the whole Titanic tip of the iceberg. Like we saw part of this. Whatever was under the surface
I can't even.
was probably immeasurably bad. And of course, Meghan at the time was like, "They burrow into your skin and then they hatch larvae in your skin."
Okay, I'm gonna preface that comment. I grew up on a farm, and there are multiple instances where a sheep had feces on its rear end for whatever reason, got stuck in the wool or whatever, and maggots got on there, and their entire back end was like, they ate the flesh of the back end of the sheep. And like to the point where my dad would like have to put down a sheep every so often because this, like, we would bring them in from like out in the field, and it would, like, its entire back end was eaten off. It's nasty. I mean, not that it would get to that point with us.
No, but I mean,
like,
I mean, clearly that's where you were mentally.
I'm like, I was literally last night, as I'm putting the baby, like the baby is asleep, and I'm like, I had this image of like a maggot had gotten into her diaper. And so even though she was asleep already, I like took off her diaper, got a flashlight, and I was like inspecting her to make sure no maggots got into her diaper. I was like, oh God, it was so.
This is the first time I'm hearing that she did this. By the way, I also know about the sheep thing because you like basically looked at me and she's like last night, and you're like, "Do you know what they do to sheep? Did you go on my farm? Well, I'm gonna tell you what they did to sheep." Like you turned into fucking Batman and got in my face last night to tell me like the reasons why we should leave. Like, I love you, but like when you get into those anxiety situations, it's very uncomfortable for people around you.
You're right. I'm one-track mind, so
and
it's accurate.
I really feel like our anxious child could have done without a certain level of that, like a certain level of.
Listen, I could use my own therapist at some point.
You know, it's funny though. Like we asked her today about it, and she was like, "Yeah, no, it's no big deal. I'm good."
She goes, "I'll forget about it. You guys won't, though."
Yeah, she goes, "I'll forget about it. You won't." Like recording this going to core memory for you. You'll know, but you all will. You'll remember this. Yeah. Anyway, so just to end the story, we did leave. We wrote the owner. She said, "Hey, I have another place 2 minutes away. There's nobody there." And so at 10:30 at night, and our poor under 2-year-old was losing her mind because she was still awake.
Exhausted.
And this whole panic situation went down for like an hour and a half had gone by of dealing with this shit. And so we walked in the rain down the road. It was very close. Got into the new place, went up the death stairs, and tried to get everybody to find a bed and go to sleep. So we did stay in a different Airbnb last night, and then The next morning, they sent in cleaning people. They were here for about 5 or 6 hours cleaning the place out.
I can't even imagine what they had to do.
Before we returned, and yeah, whatever they did. Because last night, what I was going to do is I was like, hey, I'll get, I said, I have to get the organic matter out. But I couldn't think of any possible way to get those bags without dropping maggots throughout the house.
Yeah, because there's no, like, that courtyard is in the house. There's no, like, way to get from that courtyard to an outside door without going through the house.
You have to go through the house in some way, shape, or form. So I couldn't solve that. I was like, I don't have a solution for that. The only solution for that would have which I don't have here, that we found, is like contractor bags.
I'm having a little bit of
gloves.
anxiety that I didn't, like, check the
What?
baby's bed, that there was, like, not maggots.
Well, baby's bed was on the 3rd story.
Well, I carried it up there, but
It was on the 3rd story, dude.
I probably should have
What they probably did, which is what I would do, is you get pretty big gloves and you got a large contractor bag and you stuff them all into the bag, tighten the shit of it, and run out the house.
I guess.
That's how you do it, But it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Whatever. Point is we had to deal with that poor sleeping. I couldn't fall asleep last night, not because I was dreaming of maggots in baby's diaper, but because we were sleeping next to a karaoke bar where they were screaming, "Do you believe in life after love?" And I couldn't sleep just hearing terrible karaoke last night.
Yeah.
Plus, I think also it was
Anytime we go to a new place.
it was emotional. It was a
Yeah.
lot going on, and I just wasn't able to I couldn't decompress well. And I knew you weren't sleeping either because I got an update to a notes file at like 12:40 a.m. that you updated the notes file on something. I don't know what it was.
I know I was having trouble sleeping. Ugh. Oh my god.
So yeah, but we have both said, and this is not a negative to Mexico. Again, this isn't a negative to San Miguel. Based on, I'll say for me, I won't speak for you. Based on travel, I think a week here is fine. I think you come in for a week, you spend some time here, but I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm good. I know we've had some tough experiences, which is kind of muddying it, but I'm like, okay, I've had my fill of the city. We can go
Yeah, I
somewhere else.
wonder how much, like, if we had loved our Airbnb and we had all positive experiences with it, or like we didn't have a weird situation where we're like now having to confront the nanny about not bringing our kids into random people's houses, like whether we would be having a different experience. But I feel the same way, and I'm like, I really wanted to like it more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this just my like very white ass American viewpoint, which probably partly it is,
You're
but
acknowledging that bias, and we acknowledge that from initially the point that's there. I think there are places that you just kind of fall in love with. Again, I didn't love Sintra either, and I wanted to leave Sintra too, but we were into it.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But I liked I mean, I would have gone to a different part of Portugal.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
we're talking about a city.
Yes.
We really are
Yeah.
stuck in San Miguel. So if we
Yeah,
were
we're
stuck,
not somewhere else.
if we were stuck in Sintra, I would have said the same thing.
Yeah, I
too.
agree.
I felt like after about a week, I had done as much as that could have been done in that area. We have no car. We've heard there's really cool places outside of town, right?
Yeah.
And we don't have any way to get there because we're not throwing our child in Uber.
Yeah, I asked like a bunch of like, where are there good playgrounds? And walkable from here, there are 2 places, maybe 3 if you're willing to pay for a restaurant. There are like 2 places, but they're at least a 10-minute, if not a 20-minute walk away. And that's hard. Like when you have kids, like you want to be able to just like walk out and be able for them to play somewhere not too far away. Now I'm not being like unreal. I realize that we weren't going to have a backyard or something like that. Not that our kids play in the backyard anyway.
Yeah,
they don't. But like that there would be a little bit more. And I think that was true in Sintra, and that's true here. You had to walk pretty far to get somewhere that the kids could run around.
Well, yeah, the playground here is nicer than Sintra.
That's true. Sintra,
But yeah,
yeah.
we're trying to look for kids to get something to do. What I will say here is at least there's these rooftop restaurants.
Yes.
And so the kids can explore a little bit, and we found 2 places that have playgrounds in
Yes.
the restaurants.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that this town specifically, I can say we've done it, and it's been great.
Yeah. I mean, we've met some expats who are like, we came here, we fell in love with it, and we moved here.
The guys we met this morning.
Yeah, super nice. Lots of people are super nice.
But they're like, we're in, they bought a place. I mean,
Yeah.
they chucked it, and this is where they're going to live.
Yeah, I can say that I don't think that after a week, my impression is that's not going to be our viewpoint.
No, I definitely, this wouldn't be, there's some cool stuff.
Definitely some cool stuff.
But I don't know.
It's worth a visit.
I'm not feeling that. Yeah, no, it's 100% worth a visit. I'm not getting that vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's other places we've been to where we're like, oh, we would move here.
Yeah.
And this is not one of those.
No.
Just our impression. You might feel differently.
Oh my God, you don't need to say that. You don't need to say it. I think people can, like, do you ever listen to something and be like, oh God, I disagree with that? Or do you just like hear it and go, oh yeah?
Well,
I mean, you're not a conservative,
I don't
are
want
you?
people to
You don't hear
think.
someone just like
I don't want
spouting
people
out
to
their
think
thought
that we're
process.
like, oh, everybody should hate it. No, it's just our perspective.
Holy shit. We're doing a podcast about ourselves. Who cares what they think? What do you get? Again, the 3 people who listen are going to send you another hate mail. Dear Dr. Bayer, I don't think this is a reflection of a professional, let alone the fact that I love Mexico. How dare you talk dirty about San Miguel de Allende?
I can see why people love it. It's not for me.
There are great things and certain, but we just listen. I think this is more a positive. You and I mesh. Can you imagine if you were like, I'm in love, I never want to leave, and I was like, this is a shit show?
Yeah.
We're there. We are Bayer. We're a team.
Yeah.
We are a broken but loving team that connects here. And I hope the next space, and whenever we find that space, we're on the same page about it. Like, that's what matters.
Yeah.
I don't care if the 2 people that listen to this are like, those assholes. That was the paradise of all paradises.
Yeah.
We're talking about some people love desert. They love mountain. They love landlocked areas. I mean, there's people that love Kansas. What's wrong with those assholes? But they love it.
Yeah.
So I don't think I care what they think of our opinions. People spout that shit all the time. I think what's cool is like, you and I are actually on the same page here.
Yeah.
I think I would feel sad because like even this trip, doing all of this, we've talked about this. You wanted to do this for a year, right? And I had to struggle with disappointing you. Mm. And we had a good talk about it, you know? Which, by the way, I wouldn't have done if I hadn't been going to therapy. Because my therapist was like, you're going to disappoint your spouse. And that's okay. Yeah. Because it's better than you trying to say,
let me force myself into
I'm going to make you happy, but then I'm going to feel resentful.
Yeah.
And I feel lack of fulfillment, and then I'm going to feel angry at you.
Yeah.
And like, I would love to tell you I'm the person that's so adaptable and easygoing I can do that, but I'm not.
Yeah, we both know you're not.
Fuck no, I'm not. So I think that it was good to be honest with you and say that that's the case, right? That I'm not able to, I'm going to disappoint you at some point.
Yeah.
You know?
But, I think we had to talk about that. And I think 6 months is, most people don't get to do 6 months. And so this is still like a pretty awesome adventure, even if it's not a full year.
It's an awesome adventure, but I feel like at this point, I mean, I think that we're going to be around tables drinking, talking about maggot infestations for the next 6 months with different couples.
Well, listen, hopefully we won't have another maggot infestation, but maybe there'll be other things that happen that we will... enjoy talking about.
It creates some memories. You know,
that's for sure.
But I think that's true, right? Like sometimes those things that happen, like unfortunately I don't always remember the best times, but I remember the stories about like intense events or situations that were nuts, you know, about like some of the disaster situations. Listen, I'm sure people have had way worse Airbnb situations that are just horrid. When it comes to either cleanliness or problems that go like way beyond. Yeah. So I can imagine it's worse. It's just, you're right. I think your point is very good. I think it is somewhat culinary experience, but I'm trying so hard to take myself out of it. It's like, I know the places that we've been to where I've been like, holy shit.
I love this place.
Like, I could stay here.
Yeah, I can name a bunch of them off the top of my head, but we'll get to that another time.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, but we could talk about that another time.
I think your city love is like polyamory.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Close this us out, Dr. D.
Well, this is our episode on maggots, and I think we should call it shits and giggles instead of trips and giggles.
Shits and giggles.
Maybe those maggots were in the diaper shits.
Oh my god. Can we get through this phase of like having a little like she's so freaking cute, but the diapers are just the diapers.
We'll be out of diapers soon. Okay. Anyway, that was our maggot adventure. Week 1 in Mexico. Bye.